Coming up on this episode of the Village Idiom.
Okay, what do you call a horse with a horn?
A unicorn?
What do you call a unicorn without a horn?
A hornless unicorn.
It's a eunuch corn.
Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom.
We are a podcast that every week we choose a popular saying and we take an admittedly shallow, hopefully comedic, every once in a while interesting, and if we're really lucky, educational dive into its meaning, its usage, its origins, but mostly we're going to use it to hang our otherwise directionless conversame on. My name is Jurassic Mark.
I am skinny.
You are. You're showing.
I am showing.
Actually, that doesn't
I am
work.
showing like I'm 5 months pregnant.
5 months.
For the last 5 years.
You wear well.
15. Whatever. It's all good. Hey, it's a little later than normal for us to be filming.
Yeah, I know. Can you tell that it's dark outside?
Does this have any impact on your life whatsoever?
And it doesn't affect our videoing at all.
And it's not even related to today's idiom. It's just factually that it's dark right now.
Or is it related?
Maybe. Is that why we did it? Subconsciously?
Subconsciously.
We pushed things off, had fun times.
That is so crazy.
Played games with friends.
Because
stayed up super
today's
late.
idiom is, where is it?
Ooh, a Dark.Horse candidate.
A Dark.Horse candidate. Did you get a little glitch in the
I
ear?
did. That was a good one.
Was that?
Ooh, a Dark.Horse
better now.
candidate.
Dark.Horse. We're recording in the dark. Well, it's not dark here, but outside it's dark, which never happens for us. We're, the young people, they do everything after dark. Like,
It was fun.
And we're
Instead of filming, we chose to push it off to the very last thing that we did, so that we could enjoy some hangout with friends and some board games.
I know. How often do we have well, then we lost our studio audience. We should have recorded first. They could have.
There's a lot of things we should have done in
People
life.
showed up at the studio. We played some board games, ate
some
some food.
Fun drinks, and
Great.
Now we're here.
Now we're here.
It's dark, but
But
yes, there's nothing. Yeah, we totally screwed that up with the timing.
and there's horses. There's horses like across the street from us.
I was thinking in terms of like a dark. Is a dark horse actually a nightmare?
Well,
Or is that part of the origins?
We may get into that.
Okay. Well, having the dark horse, someone who is, the unexpected person from behind. Where did that person come from that won the race? They're the dark horse.
That's exactly the usage of dark horses. The unexpected winner that you didn't see coming.
I love
This
it.
is what I wrote down.
Everybody loves that.
I wrote down two definitions. Someone with a secret, especially a secret ability, skill, or achievement that surprises you when you discover it. That can be considered a dark horse. Or someone who wins a race, a competition, or an election that no one expected them to win. That can be a dark horse. So that's how this idiom is actually used. But its origins, we'll have to wait and get into it. Unless we could.
No. We'll see. We'll see where it all comes together.
Are you a horseback rider? Have you gone horseback riding? Is that a thing that you grew up with at all?
I have. The last time I rode horses was in Montana.
Oh,
overlooking all the geysers and all that sort of thing, and like that Wyoming, Montana area.
That's amazing.
Of Old Faithful.
That's amazing. What a place to go horseback riding.
Yeah. So you couldn't. Yeah, it was just the picturesque landscape, beautiful, like full out.
Have you ever gone horseback riding at night?
Yellowstone. No, definitely no. No, I don't. So I don't know what color they were. Best part was my wife was horrendously allergic, and
To horses.
Oh yeah, and so her eyes were like red and like just like bulging.
That's awful.
Yeah, it's like, you having a good time, honey? It's like she was stung by some Japanese giant hornet or something, or just eyes are all like bulging out of her head and red.
Right. I've gone horseback riding a handful of times, mostly in Alberta, which is Canada's Texas, sort of. Cowboys and oil fields, and then a couple of times in Pennsylvania, just
With the Amish.
With the Amish. Wait, it was Oil City, Pennsylvania. But saw the Amish with their horse and buggies, but no, we were just on regular horsies. Okay, I got a little what do you call it? I guess a riddle for you.
Sure.
So there's a man driving in an all black car, windows tinted.
Okay.
He's got no lights on his car on. The headlights are off. the running lights are off. The interior lights are off. He's driving down a road, pictured like a ghost town kind of road.
Got it.
Where all the buildings are painted black.
Sure.
The windows have been painted black out.
Okay.
The street lights, there's no power, so there's no light coming from there. In the middle of the road, there's a dark horse. And the driver, going full speed, easily swerves around the horse. How did he see him?
And it was at night? Was he in the Arctic Circle?
It was an all black car, no headlights, no street lights, no house lights. Everything's painted out black.
Okay, so it's not the Arctic Circle where it can be nighttime, but it's still light out.
It's not the Arctic Circle.
But does that fit the answer though?
Yeah, it was daytime.
Oh, it was daytime.
That's how he saw it.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you call a horse with a horn?
A unicorn?
What do you call a unicorn without a horn?
A hornless unicorn.
It's a unicorn.
That's funny.
Think about that, huh?
It's funny. A horse with a horn, I was like, unicorn immediately. And then you're like, a unicorn without a horn. And I'm like, well, it's still a unicorn.
Is it? So if I take something and I chop a piece of it off, is it still what it is?
Well, if it's what I think of, what I'm thinking of, I still am what I am. Even if you chop my unicorn horn off.
So then are you a eunuch unicorn?
Absolutely.
Yes, I agree. I couldn't agree more. So you're not a horse. You don't change entirely. You're just a unicorn.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Did you make that up?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Just a little societal something there for you. Anyways, it's the Dark Horse. One of the podcasts that I enjoyed, the Dark Horse podcast.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Brett Weinstein and Heather Haying.
Hey.
Yeah, they're what are they? Not like biologists kind of people. Anyways, yeah, they do like a science podcast.
Oh, I thought maybe it had to do with comics because there's Dark Horse comics.
I introduced him on a comic podcast. But yeah, it's the Dark Horse.
It's just sciencey.
Yeah, they do like it's not like nature, like the birds and the bees, but why like evolutionary type things, or like natural progression related stuff. Yeah.
Why the name the Dark Horse then?
I think it's kind of like science that is like understood in their field, but not.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that's cool.
The Dark Horse.
Today's Village Idiom podcast has been brought to you by the Dark Horse podcast. Dinner solved.
Well, it's good. I very much I do enjoy. So when I started looking at Dark Horse, it was like immediately starts popping up things to do with like differing horses, and then it jumped into
differing.
Like red horse, white horse.
Oh, okay.
I just thought that was interesting.
Whitehorse is a Canadian city.
Oh, it's definitely it's the capital of the Yukon or something,
right?
Yeah.
Or is that Yellowknife?
Whatever.
You need a yellow knife to cut through a white horse.
Don't eat the yellow knife when you're in, when you're there.
When in the Yukon.
Yeah, so it's there's differing color horses in biblical horses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so it was like there's the dark horse, and then a white horse, a red horse, and then a pale horse, which I thought was interesting. There's a white horse and a pale horse. And
wild horses could not tear you away.
Couldn't drag me away.
Is that the line?
Yeah. And while I was researching through the horses, I did come across this little gem. My farmer friend told me that horse manure is excellent for strawberries. I said, "You may be right, but I prefer whipped cream." So
gross.
So caught me anyways.
Wow.
Well, we should probably find out where this little gem comes from.
Well, let me give you a challenge you've never had before. 2 lies and a truth.
Okay.
1 truth, 2 lies. One of these is the basic is a clue into the origin story. 2 are made up. So does the idiom Dark Horse, with the definition of someone who wins or competes and nobody expected them to win, does it come from 1, nightmares, spoiler? Does it come from 2, the apocalypse, that you also talked about? Does it come from
ruin it?
Does it come from 3, gambling?
This never happened. Ooh, a dark horse.
So do you go with one of the things you said, or do you go with the thing you didn't mention at all?
I'm going to go with the thing I didn't mention at all.
Wow, look at that. Are you? You sure?
Well, I don't think there's anything. I didn't feel satisfied by any of those things.
All right.
It wasn't, yeah. A nightmare sounds just
Nightmares.
Funny. Yeah, you're messing around with
The
it right now.
apocalypse or gambling?
Gambling.
Should we find out?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's take a look.
I said some words, where'd they go? Where'd they go? No one can know. I turned around and looked behind. Those words came from another mind. Origins.
Alrighty. Well, this one's a little bit more interesting than I expected, if I'm being honest. I thought I knew where it was from, and then I'm like, a few little interesting things here. So I'm going to give you 2 of the possibles. As is the case with many of the idioms that we research, we look up. It's like, some people say this. Some people...
What about the 3 possibles you just gave me?
Well, yeah, one of them...
There's 2 more possibles after that?
No. These are 2 probables. How about that?
Okay.
2 probables. So...
Would you say you just gave me 3 probables and I chose one?
No, there's 1 actual, 2 factual. No, 1 factual, actual, 2 lies. So
Okay.
one of the possible origins is that the expression is often attributed to a 19th century American horse owner who raced a black stallion. And he would arrive in a strange town and pretend that his horse was just an ordinary pack horse, but then would enter it into the race at the last minute.
Like take off its shirt and then show all the
So
bulging muscles?
He'd come in like with
Oh,
it.
great.
He said, "Why are you wearing such a puffy shirt? I couldn't tell."
Your horse is in fantastic
So
shape.
he'd hang
under
around
there.
in the town, making the horse pull a cart or haul hay around the town, and then at the last minute would enter it into the race and win every time. So this is just this sort of folklore of this 19th century American horse owner that used to do this and race.
He's like horse hustling.
Right. Another theory out there is that the term did originate from horse racing and referred to lighter horses who had already proven to be winners, that the owners would dye them to disguise who they were.
Dyeing your horse.
Dyeing your horse
Wow.
darker to mask their identity, therefore leveraging the odds.
You think it'd be easier to bleach a horse?
I don't know. I think just taking a mascara brush
You think? Some shoe polish all over it?
rather than stinging.
Only if you leave it on too long. You can bleach a horse.
Just some sun-in spray.
during that time of year.
So-
Your horse is orange.
So those are 2
It
background.
said it was going to be blonde. Sun in. Squeezing lemons all over your horse.
You'll be happy in the end. I promise. Now go play in the sun. So the reason I say those are possibles is we do know where it actually comes from, but those are possible backstories to the actual. So here's the actual.
Actuals.
The term began as horse racing parlance for racehorse that is unknown to gamblers and therefore difficult to establish.
Is it
betting.
gambling?
It's gambling.
Ah!
You got it. So it's gambling.
I think the other 2 sucked.
And it was all about a horse that is just like, there's too many unknowns. There was wasn't like he had a history of winning. Put it this way, it's not in the spotlight. So he's in the dark. It's a dark horse. You don't know enough about him.
It's in the shadows.
Therefore, it twists the odds when it came to gambling a little bit. So the first known mention of the concept is in Benjamin Disraeli's novel The Young Duke. In 1831, Disraeli's protagonist, the Duke of St. James, attends a horse race with a surprise finish. And he says, a dark horse which had never been thought of and which the careless St. James had never been observed in the list rushed past the grandstand in sweeping triumph. So the word dark is more that there's just never been a spotlight focused on this horse. And so it would affect the odds placed on that horse. So if you knew that the dark horse nobody's talking about is an absolute winner, you're going to come out ahead. You wanted to be on the in of a dark horse. You wanted the inside scoop of a dark horse. And then where the idiom of a dark, because that's literal, like sort of literal.
That's kind of like hiding in the shadows,
Yeah,
which makes me think of Batman.
totally.
And because I'd heard this as to why Batman hides in the shadows, it's because he doesn't want to get shot.
Makes sense.
And do you know why Robin wears colors? Because Batman doesn't want to get shot.
That's not how hunting works. You wear bright orange to not get shot.
Yeah, but if you're Batman, you totally do up your friend in the brightest colors possible.
Trust me, these colors
They
are
work.
gonna work for
They
you.
work, Robin.
Look at the hunters. They wear fluorescent orange, man. The
I think it
idiom
would be
dark.
hard with a horse, like to hide, because like
Mascara brush.
without knowing a thing about horses, like would a trained person like be able to look at, like you look at people and go, oh, it's a blonde with this kind of build, and you would look like you would find noticeable like spotting or
That's not real hair. That horse is wearing a wig.
it's got
It's
a
a
hat
dark wig. And sunglasses. You can't fool us.
on with the nose.
And the mustache.
It's
So-
like you
so-
pin on a different colored tail or something.
Pin the tail on the. Yeah, you gotta get the. Oh, does the mane match the tail?
Oh dear. Oh my. Never film at night.
So, the idiom itself got way more traction in the world of politics, even though its origins are horse gamblers.
That's the word.
Horse racing gamblers.
I'm trying to get over it.
Move
Yep,
on.
Move on.
Politically, the concept came to the United States in the 19th century when it was first applied to James K. Polk, who was, at that time, relatively unknown Tennessee politician who won the Democratic Party's 1844 presidential nomination over a host of better-known candidates. So Polk won the nomination on the 9th ballot at his party's national nominating convention and went on to become the country's 11th president, total unknown in nominations to just coming into the party, let alone becoming president. And so he was the dark horse, and he was referred to so much as the dark horse that it remained a term used in politics quite a bit and totally furthered the use of it. Like, we rarely talk about a dark horse when talking about horses. It has to do with
The American-
elections, competitions.
Yeah, I can say the American election went through that with
Yeah.
like all the Trump stuff.
Sure.
That he wasn't part of the establishment.
There's another guy that looks like he used his son in.
he's got lemon juice on his hair for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, someone that's not a part of the system. Who is Polk?
Yeah.
So you're just like, oh,
Yeah, exactly.
he's going to change everything. He's not in bed with all the donors and
Exactly, yeah.
Polk for president.
Is the Poke Catholic? So that's the origins. It's gambling. You got that right. Comes from horse races, gambling, furthered along in politics, and we still hear it with regards to politics and whatnot.
Yeah, I like that. The principle behind that, when there's some mystery surrounding. Now, I don't look like. Do you ever have you arm wrestled people? We used to do this
Ever in my life?
at foosball tournaments. We used to always arm wrestle,
Okay.
and you actually.
Is that a part of foosball?
No, it was just like something that the guys like to do, but you couldn't tell and like no one is beefy, no one's like hard workout people. It wasn't like that. But if there's someone that even was like a little bulky, you were like immediately like, oh, no one wants to arm wrestle that guy,
Right.
Because he's a goon and he's probably just some roided monkey. And
Except that arm wrestling has way more technique than you realize.
hey, and so people arm wrestle and just flatten them out.
Yeah.
But it could be some skinny guy from Thailand who's just like, how did he win? He's just like a toothpick.
So back in our Christian band touring days, we were at this sort of, I don't know, must have been like a youth rally kind of thing. And one of their guests, sort of guest celebrity, if you want to call it that, was this.
John Jacobs and the Power Team.
No. Was this world-renowned arm wrestler. And he's like, he's like, so he arm wrestles a couple of kids and he's just demolishing them. And he goes, I can pass my power along though. And he picks this random girl. She's maybe 16, 17-year-old girl. And she goes, he says, I now give you my arm wrestling ability. Go ahead. And so, another girl comes up and she just wrecks her. Then it's like, how about a boy? And everyone's like, ooh, and so this boy comes up and she just wins him. Like, looks like she's not even trying, just bam. And then then a bigger kid, and then a bigger kid, until she's up against these muscle-bound high schoolers, but still muscle-bound high schoolers, and she's just like cranks their arm down in seconds. So all he had done is spent 20 minutes with her showing technique, because muscle does matter.
Of course, yeah,
but
it totally does.
But technique is so important in arm wrestling that he was able to, in 20 minutes, show her enough technique that she didn't lose.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So we were just sitting there like, what in the world? So she led on like she was pulled out of the audience, but he had spent 20 minutes teaching her,
That's awesome.
Yeah, what was that? Wasn't there a Sylvester Stallone arm wrestling? We're
Over the top.
Over the top.
Yeah.
It was that. It was all about that wrist bend, right, in the movie. So that's obviously part of it. But yeah. So she was the dark horse. You're like, okay, here we go, and then
Yeah,
bam,
that's fun.
Bam, bam.
Yeah, the Dark Horse is exciting.
I couldn't resist this little clip just because it was nostalgia took over.
Talk about a dark horse.
Look at that, Sean Cassidy from the Hardy Boys.
Wow.
That's Sean Cassidy, right?
Talk about a dark
Oh,
horse.
no, that's the other guy, Sean Cassidy and
The Sundance Kid?
Anyway, a little clip from the Hardy Boys, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Sean Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Sean Cassidy was the other guy with the hair. Or was that Sean Cassidy?
I don't know.
Now that's going to bug me. Anyway.
I can't see.
How can you
far.
resist playing? Oh.
I just see feathered hair.
Yeah.
And that's what I get.
And you don't immediately think Sean Cassidy?
No. I think like Heather Locklear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. And that's the extent of the origin story.
Perfect. One for
Don't
one.
have anything else here? Not really. Nope. Politics and horse racing.
That's a good day.
Pretty similar.
The Dark Horse. That would be a different kind of cartoon
Which?
instead of the Dark Knight. Yeah.
Dark Horse.
The Dark Horse. I don't know. Like what would be his shtick? Because there wouldn't be bat themed things. It'd be like the horse orang and
The horse cave. It can't be the bat cave. Okay, it's got to be horse related.
the corral.
The corral.
the horse
The
cave.
horse corral.
The horse cave. It's like this place is so freaky.
What else? He's got, like, instead of a utility belt, he's got a utility saddle with his horse orang on it.
What would his mask? Would he still
His
have to look like a
sidekick
bat?
would be like
or would he
pony.
be a horse with more bat type stuff, or would he be a man with a horse
Oh
face?
no, it has to be a man with a horse costume.
A man in a horse
So
costume.
it's two men. That's how horse costumes work. Right? Front end, back end.
That would be amazing. It's horseman.
The horsemobile, all of it.
Like gallops. Yeah, that'd be awesome. No, it's a trailer.
Yes. It's the horsemobile is one of those
The
trailers.
horsemobile is a trailer, just a souped up trailer. That's amazing.
With
And they're just hanging out their head out the side. That would be great.
he's his kryptonite, so to speak, would be Wonder Woman's lasso.
She
Stay
just
away
jumps
from the
on
rope.
top of him. Anyway, it's so stupid. They can't pass by like a trough, jumping in or lapping water, eating hay.
Oh, you can lead me to the water. You can't make me drink it. Horseman can count.
Like they put salt licks around to deter them. Not this time, horseman. Drops the salt lick.
I'm a little long in the truth. He stops all the criminals by just going, "Hey!"
So ridiculous.
Oh, he throws like the batarang, but it's a horseshoe
Oh, nice.
off of his hoof.
Off of his own hoof.
Yeah, just
or off of their hooves.
yeah.
So how does the guy in the back?
Oh, I forgot it was two guys. I was picturing a real horse.
So does the guy in the back pull off, and then
He
the guy
does
in the front has to
nothing.
give
He's
direction?
just like at the end of the day.
Well, he's got-
My back is killing me. You got it so easy up front,
bent over all that time.
sniffing your butt all day long.
That'd be
Stop
tricky.
eating beans.
That'd be tricky, horseman. Anyways,
Anyway,
these ideas are cheap. and Marvel or
This is one of-
DC, if you want to reach out to us with that idea.
Maybe it should be Dark Horse Comics, actually.
I'm Dark Horse.
Oh boy. Listen. There's a Riddlink is a game we like to play. It takes a 2-part trivia-based question, requires a 2-part overlapping answer, overlapping by sound, syllable, word, or words. You know, this isn't.
Sometimes you're just so deep into your own fantasy.
This isn't an
So
episode
stupid.
that I thought would be so good, but it has come up from behind and been the winner. This is the episode of all episodes. Anyway, we're gonna play a game of Riddlink, and I'll give you a little example. Last week, our cast iron stomach episode, we gave you this one. This tummy famous wrestler is a sort of a balcony. This tummy famous wrestler is sort of a balcony. Now I know that was like a week ago, but do you remember the
I got
wrestler
nothing.
that died from people jumping on his stomach?
No.
His name was Joseph Pepper Gomez. Do you know what sort of a balcony is?
Mezzanine?
That's right. So the correct answer is Joseph Pepper Gomezanine.
Okay.
And that's how you play Riddlink.
That's good. I've got a couple prepared.
Do you?
Yep.
I got a couple.
Well, let me go first here.
All right.
This isn't good,
Okay.
but we're gonna go with it.
It's a dark horse of a Riddlink.
Okay, if you get this.
Give it to me.
The unknown person dominating the event is complete bullcrap.
The unknown person dominating the event is
The unknown person dominating the event is complete bullcrap.
Do I have to swear for this?
I don't think
Is it
so.
dark horse?
No.
Oh.
No, but there's a phrase for that I didn't think
Is it
of.
dark horse hockey?
Yes!
Oh.
I wasn't sure if you would know it, horse hockey.
Do you know why I know horse hockey?
Why?
Colonel Potter from MASH.
Oh, that's right.
He always said, that's horse hockey.
Horse hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I just think is a brilliant phrase.
I'm like, are you trying to get me to say horse?
No, I would never get you to say that.
Like, we're live on air, man.
I would never get you to say that.
You can lead me to the water, but I won't swear. All right, I got one. Where's mine? Okay. Voice of Bowser in 2023 is the name of Anna Sewell's Dark Horse book.
Oh,
Voice of Bowser in 2023 is the name of Anna Sewell's Dark Horse book.
Jack Black Beauty.
That's it. Isn't
That's
that
a
just
good
nice,
one.
tight and tidy?
Yeah, that's fantastic. There was enough thinking, but not too much. Okay. A horse with a horn had ears slathered in butter. A horse with a horn had ears slathered in butter.
That's an easy. That's got to be Unicorn on the Cob. Is it?
Yes. That's a classic.
Well, I got one more. We're gonna leave it hanging.
Okay, a unicorn without a horn has ears slathered with.
Unicorn on the Cob.
There it is.
Unicorn on the Cob.
Well, for this final Riddlink, you can reach out to us with your answers on Instagram at the.riddle.link.
Is that right?
Nope.
Did you get that right?
At the dot. It's late, man.
Just put dots in everywhere.
I just put.
The dot riddle dot.
I don't even know
link
what
dot.
time. It's so late right now. It's the .village.idiom. Or email us thevillageidiompodcast at gmail.com.
Have you ever seen somebody write down these things after you say it? Their dots are like etched in.
Enormous like a bingo dabber.
Bam, stabbing their paper with the pencil.
Bingo dabber. Or
The
email.
village dot.
Or the other socials, whatever.
Okay.
At 3 minutes gone.
All right, here it is. This meek. Oh, this is funny. Just realized as I'm about
You
to read
tell
it,
me, and
this
I'll tell you if
meek
it's
and
funny.
mild character from MASH
Okay.
was the unlikely equine winner. This meek and mild character from MASH was the unlikely equine winner.
Okay.
You think you got it?
I do have it.
Okay, good.
100%.
But I just thought it was funny because we were talking about Colonel
It's
Potter.
3 minutes gone.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was on your brain. It had to be.
Must have been.
Must have been.
I think My dad used to say not horse hockey. Like, and he didn't use it quite the same way, but he'd go horse pucky.
Horse pucky.
Horse pucky.
Yeah, it's funny.
Just nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Get back to it, friends. Whatever you're doing, get back to that.
Get back to that.
I'm Skinny.
I'm Jurassic Mark.
And these are the Village Idioms.
That's 3 minutes gone.